Hi everyone, and welcome to Edible Canopies Food Forest for Beginners, Zone 9B. And my name is Sandra, and today I'm going to talk to you about this guy right here. This is called a loofah. You might think it looks like a cucumber or maybe a zucchini, but it's actually a loofah. And it has a couple great qualities to it. And most of you may be familiar with the sponge that we use to clean our bodies, but it also has another purpose. So I'm going to share that with you today, and I'm going to take you over here and show you how it grows and some characteristics about it that I think will be helpful for you. Okay everyone, so here is the garden area that we decided to plant the loofah. I did start this plant from seeds in a pot, about a 6-inch pot. I combined cow manure, some compost, and kept an eye on the seeds, water them pretty much every 3 days, depending on if we had rain. And once the vine got about 6 inches long, I put them in the ground. Now these particular plants, I have 2 of them, and I have 3 fruits on them right now. Love to be on a trellis because they are a vine, so you're gonna want to put it on either a fence or what we did here. This is a cattle gate. You can get it at a tractor supply store or whatever type of feed store you have in your area, and we secured it on both sides with some post and formed it into an arch because they can get up to 30 feet in length, and they'll loop around each other. They are part of the pumpkin family, so again, they're on the vines just like the watermelon and the pumpkins are. So they like to grow on trellises, or if you wanted to have them grow on the ground. But I think, just having the fruit up is a good thing versus letting it grow on the ground. And like I said earlier, this is another plant that just absolutely fascinates me because you can eat these and then you can actually allow them to dry out and they can become a loofah sponge. And I honestly did not know that. And when I found that out, I couldn't wait to grow them. And I will talk about that later in this video. So on to this one. As it's growing into a fruit, it does like zones 7 through 11. And I am in zone 9B. So if you do grow them in a cooler zone, you just want to make sure that they're growing in the warmest months, and they need anywhere from 150 to 200 frost-free days. And if you wanted to, if you're not in zone 9B like me, you could certainly start them indoors anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks before the last frost. I planted mine in July, and as you can see, they're doing really well because they love full sun. They like to get at least 6 to 8 hours daily, and they want the soil moist, but it doesn't have to be completely dry or overwhelmingly wet. They like a pH of 6.0 to 7.0, and what I like to do, I use chicken manure on almost everything that I plant in this yard because I do have the chickens and I want to use that as a resource to give back to the environment, just keep it going, the cycle. You can use mulch if you like to kind of keep the moisture in the soil. You can prune these, and that will help to encourage the flowering and fruiting of this vine. If you don't have chicken manure, keep in mind there's plenty of fertilizers out there for you to use. You can use a nitrogen-rich one to promote vine growth, and you can use a phosphorus and potassium-rich fertilizer to boost flowering and fruit development. These plants have a male and a female flower, so you need to make sure you have pollinators such as bees to pollinate this vine to produce the fruit. And I do have a separate video on pollinators, which are fantastic to have in your yard and how to bring them into your yard. Now, if you don't have that availability, you can always hand pollinate these by transferring pollen from the male to the female flowers. This particular fruit to me is so unique. Again, it's a summer squash that is useful as both an edible and a sponge. It grows like fruit. You can eat it raw, or you can cook it when it's young, and I will show you later in this video how to cut it up so you can kind of see what the inside looks and you can get familiar with that as well. Now, if you let this fruit here stay on the vine and you don't pick it to eat it, and you want to use it to make a sponge, then what you're going to do is allow it to dry out. And so if you let it dry out, it's going to turn a brown color and it's going to be lighter weight for you. And when you see that happening, you want to go ahead and pick it off the vine. Once you pick it off the vine, you're going to want to peel it. And if you can't get the outside of the skin off readily, then you can always soak it in a ratio of 1:4 of vinegar and water. Cut off the ends of it, and then you're going to want to shake out all the seeds as best you can. And you can also put it in some soapy water if it seems to be a little slimy. You want to squeeze out the water, and then you're going to want to let it sit in a sunny, well ventilated spot to dry. And once it's dried, you can actually cut it and shape it and sew it with some twine, like a cotton twine, to make it into the sponge that you want it for your personal care. Because these things, they can help get dry skin off, they can help with skin circulation. And what I'm going to do is, once one of these dries up, I'm going to produce another video showing you how that looks and what it does and how amazing this plant is. So I hope that's helpful. I'm going to take you inside. I'm going to show you some of the dried seeds that this produces and what they look like, and then I'll just show you quickly how to chop it up and what the inside looks for you. All right, guys, so here are the seeds. They've been dried out, and you can take these seeds and plant them in your pots and get them started as a vine. This is how I peel this loofah fruit, and I just take the skin off. I'm going to cut it into chunks, and then I'm going to throw it in a pan with some olive oil, some garlic, some onions, let it saute up, and then I may add a little tomato paste, let the flavor sink in. I really like some lime seasoning, and that's all you need to do is just saute it. And it's a fascinating fruit, has a great flavor. So by following these steps, you'll be well on your way to enjoying this loofah plant, whether it's for a delicious dish or your own natural eco-friendly sponges. Such a fascinating plant. So I hope you enjoyed this video today. Please like and subscribe if you got some helpful information on this fabulous plant, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you.